All right, and we are live on YouTube. I just need for that video to connect on my monitor so I can grab the link and put it in our group so that our community can conveniently join us on the YouTube live and in the live chat. Let's see if I can grab that link. Here we go. Boom, we got it. It's in the group. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me make sure that I can see the live chat. All right, I see it. I see it. Good morning over there. All right. Speaking of groups, if you are an entrepreneur that is spinning their wheels and struggling to get to your first six figures in business, then this morning show is just for you. But if you want to be in studio for this show and have the opportunity to take advantage of the hot seat to get your individual obstacles addressed, just like Kimberly and Cheryl and Dewana and Keith and Shawana and Dr. Tachi and Dr. Latoya, then you need to be an active member of our group, okay? This is just one of the ways that you can take advantage of value given by our group. So go to shaycannon.com, shaycannon.info/group to join us. We come together as a free business mastermind, giving you more value than most paid masterminds. We have three pillars that we put in place to make sure you get that value. Number one, we come together and build community with events like a virtual happy hour and a movie club night. Number two, we are intentional about collaborating to make each other's businesses better and to make money together. Finally, number three, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, like free trainings and this morning show. So you need to join us, shaycannon.info/group. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome to your first six figures morning show. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com. Oh, that's the wrong link for y'all. shaycannon.com/proposal. That's shaycannon.com/proposal. Let me drop that into YouTube. Because what we have been talking about all week long and what we're closing out today on this chilly 68-degree day is faster service proposals going out, bring more money in, okay? That's what we've been talking about all week. Because what I know about you online service-based businesses is it's taking you too long to get your proposals out. Some of y'all are taking too many days. Some of y'all are taking too many weeks. And some of y'all got the nerve to be taking a month, okay? And so what I need you to understand is when you don't get those proposals out right after you talk to a prospective client, you are losing momentum, okay? The client is losing interest and you're creating a gap for your competition to slide right in where you've done all the hard work of selling and now they are the ones that get the money because you have yet to send a proposal, okay? So we want to stop that. And so I came up with 4 things that I need for you to do to help you to get these proposals out quicker. Number one, you need a foundation of splitting your service up into phases, okay? Phases, split it up, all right? And I tell you why you need to split it up and how to split it up in part 1 replay that was on Monday, okay? The second thing is we need to get together what are going to be the payment options for this offer that's going to go into the proposal, okay? We need to provide payment flexibility so that all of those options are already ready and all just a click away. You want to know more about that? Go to Tuesday's replay. That was part 2 where we talked about payments, okay? Then yesterday was like a master class in proposal templates. I gave you so many real life examples and we just discussed a lot. It was a lot, all right? So if you want that replay on how to put together and craft your proposal template, because this is at the heart of you being able to get these proposals on out there, go to yesterday's replay. That was part 3. Today, we're on the final part 4. We're going to talk about the interview or the discovery call, okay? Now, usually I would put this before the template part because you need information from the discovery call for the template. But I gave so much information on the template. I wanted you guys to have one more day to ask questions on that before we end the series. So if you got any questions about those templates we talked about yesterday, let me know, all right? Now, the interview or the discovery call, right? So an interview, often called the discovery call, is a vital step in the proposal process, allowing both you and the potential client to assess compatibility and clarify your needs, okay? Both of you will have needs, not just the client. This conversation provides a platform to discuss their specific challenges and how your service can address them, ensuring that expectations are aligned from the beginning. So this is why we're discovering, should we work together? We're discovering, are we aligned? And that's why we call it a discovery call, okay? So during this call, you can identify any necessary customizations to your standard offerings, which will later be detailed in an appendix as scope of work. Additionally, it allows you to make minor adjustments to the templated sections of your proposal, ensuring it resonates with the client's unique situation. And this will build trust, foster understanding, and lays the groundwork for a tailored professional proposal. All right. Now, that is what's in the blog. You know, on the morning show, we give you more. So let me go to these show notes because I do have more ready for you. Okay. Because I have considerations for you before the call, during the call, and after the call, and just some general stuff for you to think about. But first, if you don't know who I am Shay Cannon. I'm your host, and I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs living my best life just 3 blocks from the beach in Mexico. All right. I use my superpowers to create a foundation of business growth to position online service-based entrepreneurs like you to generate your first 6 figures to fund your version of a freedom lifestyle, even if you don't have a team. All right. Now let's get into this more that I promised you. Let's talk about before the call. Okay. This might be one of those where you need to take notes if you want to. But before the call, you need to review the intake form that your person filled out, that your potential client filled out. Okay. Now, we're going to get into detail about this intake form a little later, but we need to get an idea of what prompted them to schedule the call, okay? This information is invaluable because they are problem aware and they are aware of your brand, and that's how we want a warm lead to be, okay? We want them to be aware they got a problem. We want them to be aware that we have solutions for that problem. They came to us. Okay, so this is a warm lead, and we want to know as much as possible from this warm lead. All right. Now, before the call, we also want to set an agenda. Okay. Now, the agenda can be templated. It could be the same thing every time. All right. So you're going to share a brief agenda with the client ahead of time to outline the structure of the call and help them to prepare. If your agenda is a little deep, right? If not, you can just kind of follow the agenda with the client. They don't have to know that you have a templated agenda or what the outline is. It depends on what your business is, right? Some of you have some things that you need to know from them during the call for the call to be productive. That's when you need to tell them what the agenda is so they can come ready. If you don't have anything like that going on, I don't have anything like that going on. So they don't know what the agenda is. I just know I'm following an agenda. Okay. Now, what are some things you want to have on this agenda? You definitely want to understand why they made the move to talk to you. Okay. Why did they make that? Because I want to know what is, because you probably have had this problem for a while. What is the pain that you are in right now that prompted you to try to do something about it and take a step towards that? I need to know that because I need to be able to use that to close you. Okay. So you need things in the agenda that's just basically going to keep you consistent with getting your information. It's going to keep you time focused, because you should not be giving these people hours of your time for a free discovery call. So set an agenda. All right. We want to block out distractions. Okay. We want to ask that they block out distractions, and we want to have distractions blocked out. Because again, this is going to help us keep to our time. All right. Cool beans. During the call, we want to gauge the budget early on. Okay. We want to gauge what their budget is for solutions early on, because guess what? If you don't have a budget for a plan that I know that you need, there's no use in me trying to sell you that. You don't have the budget for it. Okay. Now I'm going to mention it. I'm going to let you know that the transformation that you want is in that plan that you saying you don't have the budget for, but I'm going to tailor your proposal and my solution for you to fit in that budget. So I need to know what the budget is. Okay. Make sure that you're letting these people know you're not asking the budget so you can change your prices. This is why pricing transparency on your websites work very well these days. See, people don't have a lot of trust in service providers anymore. They don't have a lot of trust in big ticket people, period, whether it's a service provider or not, right? But if you have pricing transparency on your websites, they already know how much your stuff costs. So when you ask what their budget is, they feel less hesitant to tell you because they don't feel like you're around here doing that small business thing where you change the price to see how much money you can get out of me based on my budget. All right. But we need to know the budget. All right. Next, we need to keep a tone of collaboration. Okay, we're partners in this thing. This is not me versus you. This is you with a problem, me giving you an opportunity to solve it. We're partners. Okay, so keep the spirit of partnership in there. I use a lot of language like we and our, even though I'm only talking about them, because I need them to know if you hire me, I'm in this with you. I'm gonna get in the trenches with you. Okay, so keep a tone of collaboration. Also during the call, ask priority-based questions. First of all, you should be asking a lot of questions. That should be the majority of how your voice is used, asking them questions, because they should be talking way more than you. If you're talking more than them, you're not finding out the information necessary to close this deal and to make sure that you can serve them. So they need to be talking more. So you need to be asking priority-based questions. Help the client prioritize their needs by asking things like, if you should solve one problem right now, what would it be? Now, why do we ask priority-based questions? Because they got all the problems and they want all the things and they don't have all the budget for all of that. So, and we got to start somewhere. So what if we had one thing? What is it that you would want to solve? Okay. Next, we want to explore timelines, okay? We want to understand what is their urgency, right? Do you have any looming deadlines? Do you have any time frames in mind? Because I have to work against this expectation, so I need to know this stuff. So I want to explore with you, what do you have in your head as a timeline based on what I know it takes to get through things, okay? I'll tell you, when I used to be on the product development side with my past client, people came in, they of course wanted to have a product in 3 months. Baby, it sometimes take a year to get a product done. What do you, 3 months? And then it depends on what you're doing, right? So a lot of people want all these custom parts and all that. Baby, custom takes time. So what happened to that 3 months you want to do it? 3 months is private label. We put your name on something that's already in existence. That could be 3 months, right? So we want to know what their timeline is so we can curb expectations or set expectations. We want to identify decision makers, okay? I don't necessarily like getting on the phone with tire kickers, but I don't mind giving you information to take, that plants a seed for you to understand what you need to do. However, if you're not the decision maker, I don't understand why you're on the phone with me. So we need to try to identify who is the decision maker so that we are talking to that person. Why would I be overcoming your objections and you're not even the one that's making the decision? So we need to confirm who is the decision maker. We need to give them the opportunity to reschedule so that, we can be on the phone, they can be on the phone, and the decision maker can be on the phone. All right. I love how Alex Hormozi talks about busting through the sales objection of, I got to talk to my spouse, or I got to talk to my boss, or I got to talk to whatever, right? Because he immediately goes into, well, would your spouse have a problem with you, solving this problem? Like, don't they see that you're in pain? Don't they see how, all of these negative effects are going on? I would think that they would be on your side to solve this, right? So they kind of take the sting and the power out of that. I got to talk to my spouse. And I love that. Okay. Now, after the call, we talked about that yesterday. I showed you the email that I send after the call, but you basically want to personalize your follow-up, talk about the pain points that you guys talked about, tell them that you created something with them in mind, and then provide follow-up value like additional resources. Maybe you can even send them to a blog post that might help them with the mindset shift that it takes. You can add case studies, all of these kind of things, okay? So that's after the call. Now, I got some more considerations for you. The first one is, I need you to understand the difference between a strategy call and a discovery call, okay? In a discovery call, you are not giving strategies. You are not giving solutions. You're giving the name of the offer as a solution. but you're not trying to solve problems within the call. Will they ask you questions? Yes. Are they trying to get answers and solutions within this call? Yes. However, you are not to give them because you don't even have enough information to answer the questions correctly. You have to do your assessment first, right? So I want you to go back to thinking about how the doctor does things. The doctor don't care nothing about you coming in talking about you got a UTI. They don't care what you think your diagnosis is. They're not going to tell you, yeah, about what you're saying it's a UTI. They're still going to do their assessment. They're going to get all the information they need from you, and they're going to do your assessment. And guess what? If it is a UTI, congratulations, you guessed correct. But we're still doing the assessment. So I'm not giving you any solutions. You're going to go through my phases so that I can serve you excellently. Okay. Stop trying to give solutions within these strategy calls. You don't even have enough information. All right. Cool beans. Next, we want to make sure that we are pre-qualifying leads. That is the whole purpose of this. Okay. If you are sending a proposal out to somebody that ends up not being an ideal client, that is your fault. That's your fault because that's what this call is about. Are you discovering whether or not they're your ideal client? You should be discovering whether or not they are a qualified lead for what you have. There have been plenty of people who were not a qualified lead. I'm not going to send you a proposal. I'm going to send you to this morning show. I'm going to send you to the blog. Okay. I'm going to send you to our free community so you can get more information. You're not positioned for me to help you in any way that I would send a proposal for. Okay. So pre-qualify the leads. You want to maintain control of the conversation. Some people just like to talk. Some people want to give you information that you don't even need. Keep control of the conversation, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to interrupt them. It just says, hey, I just want to make sure I'm getting the information that I need. I understand that you may think that that's important, but you know what is important? Lead the conversation. Okay, take control of it so that you get what you need and you're not sitting on the phone 2 hours doing a free discovery call. All right. Establish credibility early. Okay, we want to give them examples and success stories in an anecdotal way. We want to tell them how, yes, I've worked with a client that had that challenge. I do this all the time because I've worked with so many people that for whatever problem you got in your business, I probably worked with somebody with that problem and helped them to solve that problem. So when you say something, I'm going to say, yes, that reminds me of a client that's so-and-so and so-and-so, and we took her from here to here. I didn't say how, I'm just telling you what the transformation is in an anecdotal way. Okay. So you guys need to bring in the people that you have helped in a storytelling way that adds credibility that they're talking to the right person, somebody who has gotten results in the past for someone else. All right. We want to we want to assess their commitment. Okay. We want to assess their commitment. So ask questions to gauge how ready is the client to take action. Right? How ready are they to invest in a solution? One of my favorite questions is, if I can solve your problem, would you be ready to invest in a solution today? Because I need to know, like, what are we doing? Is this conversation going to linger on for days because now you going to keep trying to kick tires, or what are we doing? How committed are you? Because I'm only going to be as committed to your problem as you are committed to your problem. Okay. So we want to assess the commitment. Next, we want to focus on benefits, not features. We talk about this all the time. What do I mean by benefits, not feature? We want to focus on the transformation, not the deliverables that they're going to get this many phone calls and they're going to get this many revisions. We want to focus on the transformation, right? So if we're talking about Shawana, we're going to talk about how, hey, did you know? We're not going to talk about how many of these videos you're going to get for your social media. We're going to talk about, did you know that when you send video out, you're this much likely to get your ideal client to like, know, and trust you before they ever get on the phone with you? Talk about the transformation. Okay. When it comes to Keith and his graphic design, he don't want to talk about how many, designs they're going to get a month or how many they're going to get in a package. That's not what we're talking about in this call. We're going to talk about, hey, my clients have experienced an uptick in engagement based on the graphics that I have provided for them. My clients have gotten more people that recognize their brand based on the cohesive professional graphics that they always have attached to the content that they put out. Okay, transformation. All right. We want to end on a positive note, okay? We want to end on a positive note, thank them for their time, reinforce how their service is a good fit for their needs. We want to do what they call in the psychology of sales a presumptive sale. We want to basically start treating them like they are going to pay. Okay. Yes. So once you make that payment, we're going to get started. I can't wait to work with you. This is going to be awesome. I already have some ideas floating around in my head. I can't wait to sit down and write. In fact, I think when I get off this call, I'm going to just sit with a notebook and write all this stuff down so that when we get started, I'm already halfway there with some of the strategies I'm thinking of. Presumptive sale, assume the sale. All right. We want to stay open to feedback. All right. We want to invite them to share feedback on the call process, on future interactions. And it's not necessarily that you're asking for it on the call because we want to keep the call short. But if they say something on the call, make a note of it so that you can make that change later. Okay. And then if you notice that one discovery call wasn't enough, they keep emailing you questions. We need to understand that might be an indication we need to update our process a little bit. So stay open to feedback. You don't necessarily have to ask for it in this situation, but stay open to it if it's given. Okay. Then we want to track all outcomes. Okay. You can use a spreadsheet that's old school, or use your CRM, your client relationship manager, to document call details. This is when we know that somebody is a lead. Are they a hot lead, a cold lead, a warm lead? Did we win the deal? Did we not win the deal? We need to have over time, a collection of how all of these calls went. Okay. This allows you to have a segmented list of people to sell to later. I'm going to tell you about, depending on the volume of discovery calls I have at least once a quarter where I send an email to everybody I had a discovery call with, and I'm sending them a fast action discount to take me up on the offer that I was offering them as a way to go back and try to win back the sale. Okay. So we definitely need to track the outcome so we know who to follow up with to try to get the sale. We know how to build the relationship. We can go back to our notes and say, okay, yeah, this person said they have issues with marketing. Let me send them this article I just saw on marketing. Who does not love when you talk to somebody and then they still are thinking of you and they send you information, right? They send you information. I know Shawana get tired of me sending her stuff. Dr. Latoya, I just sent Dr. Latoya something the other day. Right. So if people know about your brand and even they haven't hired you yet and you're still sending them something they can benefit from, that builds relationship. Right. And when I say about your brand, that's because my people have brands. Right. All right, let's talk about this intake form. You definitely want to get basic information, the name, business name, if that's applicable, email address, and phone number. Okay, we want to ask about their business goals. Okay, we want to ask them about specific outcomes. We want to ask them about their current situation. We want to ask them, I don't really like asking about their timeline on my form, but I do ask something to get an understanding of how urgent this is to them. We want to go ahead and ask about that budget on the intake form, okay? You can ask about the decision maker. Are you the decision maker on the form? Expectations. We can ask something that will give us an idea of their expectation on the form. And then some optional stuff is you can ask them about the website. You can ask them what their social media is. I think that would be a great one for Shawana to ask about their social media because she can go over there and check it right quick before the call and already be saying, yeah, I see you do this and you could benefit from that during the call. And I always love to ask, how did you hear about us? Okay. So the question for the round robin, and we're going to start with Dr. Latoya, is going to be, what discovery call strategies will you start to implement as soon as possible? And do you have any questions or obstacles in achieving the goal of getting the right information you need for your template proposal? Now, I'm going to show you an example of my intake form while you're thinking about the answer to that question. Let me go over here and check on YouTube. We got Dr. LaFera over here on YouTube. Good morning, Dr. LaFera. I'm putting a question in the chat for you. For some reason, it won't. For some reason, it won't go. Let's see. Look, Dr. LaFera always causing problems. She ain't even in the studio and causing problems. Go on, LaFera Con. I don't know. It won't go. So we're going to go to something else really quickly. I am about to, let me share my screen. All right. Cool. To have a discovery call with me is shaycannon.info/talk. And it takes you to my scheduling link for discovery calls. Okay. There are a few things going on before you even do anything, right? I say, hey, I need you to understand that my calendar is in Eastern time because I work with people in multiple time zones. And what you tend to do is when you look at dates and times, you assume it's your own date and time. Nope, it's mine. Okay. So if you're not in Eastern time zone, I need you to understand that this is showing Eastern time zone. Okay. Then I say, hey, if you don't see any availability that matches your schedule, send me a message via email and we'll figure it out together. And so we have the assistance email there that can help. And then I say, I believe in pricing transparency. Check our all general, we need to fix that, but check out all general offers with pricing at the bottom of the pages. And it takes it to the page with the offers and the pricing is at the bottom. Okay. Why do I do that? Y'all know why, because I'm going to ask about that budget and I don't have time to play games with you about you thinking I'm going to change the price based on your budget. I'm not. You already know the price. Okay. All right. Then I let you know that this is a discovery call. A discovery call is a conversation where you give me your specific problems and I share with you my recommended solution. There is no cost for the call, but you will need a budget for the recommended solutions. I cannot wait to speak. Show it all. With you about your business success. So you see how I'm still prompting them for, hey, this is a free call, but your solution is not going to be free. Okay. Don't come in here expecting free solutions because that's not what happens. All right. Cool beans. Now they are able to see availability, but when they click it, this is where the form comes up. Okay. So I'm asking them for their name. I'm asking them for a phone number, an email address. I have not gotten into text marketing yet, but I have gotten into requiring the phone number in case I can get over I don't know, I need therapy. Y'all know I can't stand text marketing, but the data is out. Don't y'all not like it. Y'all do it, okay? I got to get over myself because the data is out that sales increase when you use text marketing. So you do it, okay? All right. Make sure the phone number that you put above can be used to notify you in an emergency cancellation. Please answer each pre-call question below. I can't wait to talk to you about getting on the road to six figures. P.S. Before confirming your appointment, did you know you can open another web tab and check out the general offerings that include pricing transparency at the bottom of each page? I am stressing that. Because if you can't afford it too, let's not even make this call. If you know that all of my offerings have a price tag that is beyond your budget, why is we getting on the phone? Okay. I'm letting all the Alabama out. Why don't waste my time and I'm not going to waste your time. Now, if they also go to that page, there are free solutions over there. I point them to this morning show. I point them to the community. So you don't have to feel embarrassed when I tell you I don't have an offer for you based on your budget, right? You can make that decision before we ever get on the phone. Let's save each other some time. So that is already qualifying them, pre-qualifying. All right. How did you hear about us? I always want to know that because I want to know what channels of traffic is working for me. Okay. So did somebody refer you? Did you see me on YouTube? Did you see me on Facebook? I need to know what's working. Okay. What do you need support with? Okay. Then it's tell me about your business. Move out the way, Grammarly. Who do you service? What problem you solve for them? And how do you solve the problem? So that's telling me a little bit more about their business. And so now I can kind of quantify how to help them. Okay. Then it's what solution do you think would be a best fit for you? Now, this little thing right here corresponds with how I have my offers labeled on my offers page, right? I start with time and money because I'm trying to pre-qualify them on what solution that I have is the best. So I'm asking them, Hey, what is your situation? Use one of these 6 things to tell me about your situation, because it correlates with how the offers are on my page. So you should already know what I'm going to recommend to you based on the situation that you pick, because it's on the offer page, right? And then I want to know, I don't want to invest much time. No, I don't have any money to invest in solutions. And I understand that means I may not solve my problem. Now, if you got the nerve to click that and still book a call, I'm probably going to have the assistant counsel your call and direct you to this morning show and the community. Because again, what is we talking about when you don't have a budget for solutions? I can't give you anything for free but this morning show, which is a lot, in the community, which is a lot. So go to one of those. Okay. So you see how I'm still all the way through pre-qualifying. All right. Then I asked last year, because you know my thing is about getting you to your first 6 figures as a foundation to go beyond that. So last year, what was your annual revenue for your business? This year, what is your projected revenue for your business? How confident are you that you can reach the revenue goal of your first 6 figures on your own? See right here, I'm getting your mind right. Because if you could do it on your own, you would have did it. Why are we on this call? So I need you to understand that about this call. You clearly can't do it by yourself. You clearly need help. I might be the help that you need. So let's continue this conversation. All right. What is your biggest obstacle to meeting your revenue goal? That's helping me understand what they think the problem is. Why are you seeking solutions now? There's that commitment in that timeline of expectation, because something has happened to prompt you to come as far as to make this call, right? What has happened? Tell me about it. Because you ain't been making 6 figures in all this time. What happened today? Your neighbor got a new car. You recognize you can't get a new car because you still ain't made the 6 figures. What happened? Go ahead and tell me so we can work that into the conversation. All right. Are you accustomed to investing in what you need through coaching? Yes or no? Somebody who is not used to coaching or investing in themselves is a different animal. They're probably not going to invest in themselves during that call either. Okay. Somebody who is used to coaching and investing in themselves, okay, great. They have a foundation and a mindset that I need them to have. Okay. I have an understanding of the offers available and the pricing of those offers that can be explored at. Yet again, I'm sending you over there. Look at what I got now. Because don't schedule this call and you already know that you don't want to do none of that. Don't get on my call trying to invent an offer for yourself. It's not going to happen. All right. If you qualify to use my framework to reposition your business to make your first 6 figures in revenue, is there anything preventing you from making a financial commitment as low as $3,500? Okay. I need to know that, because any solution that involves me doing something is most likely at least $3,500. Right. So I need to know where you are. That's either a yes or a no. Okay. Now, are you in or will you join our Facebook group? I understand that if I proceed with booking the appointment, I will be placed on a list to receive insightful emails with, this is basically them opting into marketing. Okay. You cannot, when people do a discovery call with you, if you do not let them know they're going on your marketing list, it is illegal to then start marketing to them. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I will put these questions on the show notes for y'all. Let's check and see if I can. Hold on, Dr. LaFera, because this thing, for some reason, the chat is locked up. So I hope you heard the question, Dr. LaFera. If not, just keep listening because I'm going to ask it over and over again. You know I will. All right. So let's go to Dr. LaToya. What discovery call strategies will you start to implement as soon as possible? And do you have any questions or obstacles in achieving the goal of getting the right information you need for your templated proposal?
Well, I don't do discovery calls or send out proposals. But if I did, I think the information you gave is easy enough for me to follow. I don't have a desire to do them. So yeah, that's where we live right now.
Totally understand. Because you deal with so much personal stuff, it's kind of hard. I mean, your sales page can do it. Your sales event can do it. And so a template is not for everybody, but yes, thank you for affirming that if you were to send one, you would have what you need. Okay, cool beans. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, What discovery call strategies will you start to implement as soon as possible? And do you have any questions or obstacles in achieving the goal of getting the right information you need for your template proposal?
So when it comes to you all at the network and finding out, I do a discovery call with you all so that I can get that. But when it comes to, for example, if I'm working with a client and we already talked about the larger entities, companies, etc., which I probably don't want to do anymore. But when I do that, a discovery call in general, because what has been happening is usually it's someone that I already know that is calling me that says,
Yes.
"Hey, can you do?" And it's not really a discovery call. So the everything comes in the proposal stage, which I already said is not as robust as it could be. So
Yeah.
if I decide to do more company clients, university clients, I think actually doing a separate discovery call and not just the informal, can you do this, is the
Yes.
way.
Because let me tell you, Dr. Tachi, that makes me cringe that you're not having a call and then you have a limited proposal. Because what that lets me know is you're doing a lot of figuring stuff out along the way. You're doing a lot, you're wasting your own time a lot. They got stuff that they're telling you that you had no idea of after you've produced some work product. They're coming in with mood ass changes and stuff that if they had told you from the beginning, you could have saved time and possibly resources. So yeah, this is why we have the call, we have the proposal, because we're trying to lock in a commitment to where all we're doing is just executing what you say you want and changing it minimally. But when you don't do a discovery call, when you don't do a proposal that is robust enough to make sure that it's defined, that's when you get these willy-nilly adventurous people that's like, everything will be fine. But then when you produce a work product, they got all of the feedback. No, tell me what you're thinking in the beginning. Don't have me start on something and give me creative license. And really, you are a control freak that's going to micromanage me through the whole process. And everything I give you, you got something to say about. No, say all that stuff up front. So are you experiencing that, by the way?
No, well, no. So really quickly, what's happening is it's no problem with the work or feedback afterward. Everybody loves it. But what ends up happening is because it's not, I don't have the call before to say, because it ends up being more informal.
Yeah.
Then it ends up being I get stuff late um to the point where I'm like working to make sure that it comes off well because that's me. That doesn't look good if it doesn't come off well. So I kind of have to do it. Even if I want to say, well, hell, you're the one that gave it to me like 2 minutes before. Oh well, but I still make sure that I, do what I need to do so that it goes off right. So that's
Sounds
more of the problem. So
Mhm.
I guess if I say it, not only in the discovery call, but now and since then in proposals, I've put the time frame in which I have to have things or it can't happen. That's
Mhm.
more of the problem.
Yes. I love that. And the phases will help you with that because the timeline is based on the phases. And I love to let people know that they could be the problem while the timeline could be blown. And how. And when people are late, I let them know how that has pushed their project immediately when they send it. So, because what they don't understand is just because you are 3 days late, don't means it just adds 3 days to the end of your deadline. No, you're no longer in the queue. You didn't show up when you were supposed to. So the dedicated time to you has been filled with other stuff. Now I got to see where else you fit in the queue. You know what I'm saying? So you have to help them to understand that. But that was great, Dr. Tachi. Thank you. All right, Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media. What discovery call strategies will you start to implement as soon as possible? And do you have any questions or obstacles in achieving the goal of getting the right information you need for your template proposal?
No, I don't have a problem. However, I did see Keith's his response, and I do agree with setting the timer because, of course, depending on what they're saying, it can go longer. But you also know I prefer my discovery calls to be video calls.
Yes.
That way, it does allow me to capture certain information and data so that I can give a greater assessment in my proposal. And now, even based off what some of the stuff you were saying too, I now in that because how it is done, I do go ahead and put a pay link so that I'm not going back and forth, going back and forth. I want to give you the opportunity to let's get you started. And even going back to what you said on yesterday, putting a date even in the emails, if it's not even a paper. I noticed with a couple of folks, I really have got to do that, even though the majority, that's not an issue. I've got to be putting those dates in those emails, because recently a person that sat on something for a whole year, and you know what I say, each year brings about a price change. And
Within the
something I
year
said
to
in
bring about a
December of
price
last
change.
year of 23 does not apply to 24. So that was a rude awakening for them, as well as, you know, thinking they were going to get everything and the kitchen sink for a 2023 price. So yeah,
Exactly. And
just
sometimes not only is the price going up and can go up within the year, how about the package don't even look like that no more?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cut it
Bingo,
out.
bingo, and that's really what happened. And so instead of you can't have all 5 levels. You what you're asking for is a level 1. That is really what that is.
Y'all saw that 2018 proposal for $1,200, all that stuff they was getting. I wish somebody would come to me trying to talk about, I got this proposal in 2018. Are you still doing this at this price? Why, no, I have grown in confidence, experience, and everything. Cut it out.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that was
Cut it out.
clearly the case. Recently, a
Yeah.
year later. Yeah,
This is
no.
why
And we
it's
had to break
important.
that down. So, amen.
Cool beans. Keith said setting an agenda, because we shouldn't still be on the phone for 30 minutes of a 15-minute call. By solving this issue, I'll add a timer to that call. I will sound off 5 minutes before the 15-minute mark, so I will start wrapping things up. Yeah. But let me tell you how I don't even need a timer, because I be on them calls and I got an internal barometer and I be looking at the clock and and this is why you have to control the call, because I am on here to make sure I understand what your problem is. And to make sure that you understand that I understand what your problem is, to let you know that I can solve that. Okay. And to reiterate that I'm the person for it. It don't take that long to do all of that. See, some of y'all calls are too long because number one, you letting folks be long-winded, but number two, you on the call having a strategy session, solving problems on a free discovery call, and then wondering why they didn't give you no money to move forward. Well, you gave them solutions that they feel like they can work. Cut it out, okay? Let's go to Cheryl Ferguson. What discovery call strategies will you start to implement as soon as possible? And do you have any questions or obstacles in achieving the goal of getting the right information you need for your template proposal? Let's see if Cheryl is awake or did we lose her? We might have lost her. Well, Kimberly, you can put yours in the studio chat because we know you might be at the Dream Funder. Dr. LaFera over here on the YouTube side said, when we start working together, my people have gotten these results, control the conversation after I hear what they need. Yes, most definitely. And if you're not hearing what they need, control the conversation so that you can get it. Because they're telling you what they think is important, but you are the expert. You know what you need to assess the situation. Okay. Again, if we go back to the doctor, you talking about something, you have a UTI and you think it's this and you think it's that. If you start talking about, and I have pain when I go to sit on the toilet, ain't nobody talking about your back. If you think you got a UTI, what back pain got to do with this? So don't allow them to spin out of control on things that's going to take up time and not be valuable. You can even start the conversation off with, hey, this is just a quick conversation for us to discover whatever. So I'm gonna keep us on track so that I can get what I need and go ahead and give you this proposal, because the goal is for us to hurry up and get your problem solved. You see what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and start the conversation so they understand why you're stopping them, redirecting them and all of that. Okay, so set the stage for it at the beginning of the conversation. Cool beans. All right, let me go to these announcements. If you have any questions, be thinking of it, and you will have an opportunity to give me any questions or value adds you have before we get off. All right. Now, if you have not already, help us out by giving today's live a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. So Again, today, I gave you a lot of information from the show notes. There are only 2 ways to get the show notes. Number one, if you are in our free group, okay, shaycannon.info/group, then the show notes live in the files section. Number two, you can get the entire morning show in your email inbox. You will get an email in the mornings reminding you to hop on the YouTube Live. You'll get another email in the afternoon that includes a link to the replay and a link to the show notes. So you can go to shaycannon.com/show, sign up to get the entire morning show in your email inbox. All right. Today is Collab Live in the free group at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I will live stream into the group to facilitate all of your collaborations. The value of this is not in me showing up and teaching you anything. I'm only facilitating. So if I show up and you don't show up, there's no value to get, okay? I'm going to show up. And what you do is you come with the collaboration you need in your business for it to grow or for you to make more money, okay? And then you also have what you're willing to give in exchange for that collaboration, all right? Cool beans. See you at 12 p.m. in the free group, shaycannon.info/group. Tomorrow is a Get Shit Done work session from 1 to 5 for the paid membership. However, the free group is invited to come in at the end to join us. So if you need those details, they are where? In the group, okay? Cool beans. Anybody have any questions, any value adds before we get out of here? This week has been great. So if you have any questions about the entire week, breaking your service up in phases, the payment flexibility, the template that we talked about yesterday. I gave y'all a lot of information yesterday. Do you have any question about that information now that you've sat on it? And the interview or discovery call, any questions, any value adds? Was this week of use for you and your business? Was it transformational for your business growth? Dr. Tachi.
Indeed, it was. It was very, no, seriously, it was very helpful in terms of getting to the next step, because again, it's all well and good to get clients, but if you can't see them through to the end, through all of this, it doesn't make any sense. So this was very helpful.
Yes, yes. All right. Anybody else? Value add, question? Let me know whether or not it was helpful for you this week. Let me check on the YouTube side. I finally figured out why the question wouldn't go. Now, YouTube has restricted the number of characters you can put in the feed in the chat. I didn't know what that little thing was and why it wouldn't go. But now I understand we have a character limit in the chat now. All right, Dr. LaFera hasn't said anything else. And we got like a few more people watching, but they're very quiet. Hey, people, speak to us sometimes. All right, guys. Well, that was the week. This would be great. The show notes will go out this afternoon. They will be uber helpful to you. And so I want you to have a great weekend and a great rest of your week. We will be back on Monday with more things that are transformational for your business growth. I don't know. Y'all know I'm a vessel. I have to see what comes to me and through me that is going to be of use and benefit to you. But we'll be back here on Monday. So have a great day. The studio is closing in 5,